What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Long time no see, so really excited to go ahead and be on today's live stream. Let's go ahead and wait while everybody goes on. Market's been a little hectic these last couple days, and as I mentioned these last couple of times that we streamed these last few days, I apologize for not streaming a specific time like I usually do. As soon as I go ahead and get back home from vacation, we're going to go ahead and be back on the grind, uploading consistently as we were these last couple weeks. I've just been having a lot of connection issues and all of that, things that always happen. But welcome everybody that will be tuning in today. My goal is that tomorrow, I should be streaming a little bit sooner, a lot earlier. I'm going to go ahead and test out this time. Let's go ahead and see how everything goes on today. Go ahead and smash that like button for me if you are now joining me on stream. Hey Glenn, how's it going, Glenn? I hope you're having a great day today, man, or good night, or good afternoon. Glad to have you here. If you are joining me, go ahead and smash that like button and comment down below as well. We're going to go ahead and talk about the overall market. I have noticed a few pumps right now going on. Solana is still pumping. Bonk is actually up a little bit over 30%. So there is a few projects I want to go ahead and talk about. But one of the biggest questions being, is Pepe 2.0 still... is it still alive? Is it done? What can we be expecting moving forward? I think this is just a temporary dump. I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked in the charts. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do think that Pepe 2.0 still has room to go. Currently, right now, I'm not holding on to any Pepe 2.0 positions. I actually entered my Pepe original position a few days ago and actually got liquidated on that one. And I got liquidated on something else. I forgot. I've been getting liquidated these last couple of days. It's been pretty bad. So apologize for that. I actually did take profit on what was it, big time. I took about $3,000 profit a couple of days ago, and currently right now still with an open position on Wojak. Not looking too good on my trade right now, honestly. So we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about all those projects right now, but go ahead and smash that like button for me if you are tuning into this live stream right now. Yeah, let's see how many people we could actually go ahead and capture, because I know the time has been freaking all over the place. So if you're watching this pre-recorded, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Appreciate all of you tuning in, and go ahead and try to make it live. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about Pepe 2.0 right now. I was waiting for a few people, but I don't know. I think so far we only have Glenn. At least that's the only thing that shows right here. So as always, go ahead and support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Not much has been going on in the market, in my opinion. I do feel like the markets have been quite quiet. So there's really nothing too major besides the fact that there is a lot of these, Bitcoin did take a hit. People are panicking now. Everybody's like overly bearish, but it looks like the stock market actually did pretty well today. Gold and silver took a hit, oil took a hit. So I think right now we're in a consolidating period. And we're actually going to go ahead and look into that right now, right? Because that's definitely what I wanted to go ahead and talk about. I think this might be a time to go ahead and start looking into some projects to probably start loading up before the next phase of the next pump, right? So let's look into Pepe 2.0, because all those that are looking to go ahead and get a quick update on Pepe 2.0, I definitely do want to go ahead and cover those news for you. But currently sitting in a total market cap of 17.51 million, liquidity at 1.48, 12.11 thousand holders. I think we actually lost a few holders with only $294,000 in daily volume. It does look like there's a lot of selling pressure going in, but it looks like it's kind of evening out, and we could be seeing some sort of momentum to the upside. I think actually soon, if we actually go back over here, we've been seeing this entire consolidating phase right here of 3 days of just consolidation going to the upside, and it looks like today we took that small little dump. But we're going to go ahead and analyze the charts a little bit deeper. So if this is something you definitely do not want to go ahead and miss out if you are a holder of Pepe 2.0 or looking to go ahead and enter a trade for Pepe 2.0. So looking at Pepe 2.0 on the 30-minute chart, I did mention that one of our biggest goals was to go ahead and break out to the upside on the 4659 area and hopefully hold this area of support before approaching these new other zones back to the 5355 and the 6240 zone. I think as soon as we do go ahead and break the second zone right here, this is going to be an indication of a full-on reversal, because we did have this sort of fake out right here at this end right here where it pumped and we got rejected on this area of resistance. So we could go ahead and say that this zone right here is a very strong area of resistance for Pepe 2.0 right now at the moment, which is around the 5355 zone. So that is an area we definitely need to go ahead and be on the lookout for. Looking at the 30-minute chart, it does give us an indicator that this is a massive buy-in zone, but we are also approaching a massive area of resistance. So I do think that as soon as we break out to the upside on this zone right here, which is the 47110, we could go ahead and see Pepe 2.0 pump and approach these levels one more time, the 5355, and hopefully continue with the breakout, because if we do go ahead and get rejected, we're still going to go ahead and be in this phase for a while and repeat the same history that we repeated around this zone right here, right? So we definitely do not want to go ahead and get rejected again, but this is a massive area of consolidation that we've been holding on to, and as soon as we broke that area of resistance, we actually mooned and made new all-time highs. So I do think that something very similar could be happening with Pepe 2.0 and a few other of these meme tokens. I feel like a lot of them are in this consolidation period where they pretty much just liquidated and shaked out all the paper hands and wrecked everybody in order to go ahead and continue with the next pump to the upside, in my opinion. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but looking at the 4-hourly chart as well in Pepe, we do see that we have been touching that area of resistance multiple times. So we definitely do need to go ahead and break this to the upside to go ahead and see some sort of uptrend coming back up. So be on the lookout for that. Right now, if you're looking to go ahead and load up, I would just say just slightly load up. Don't go full throttle, but it does look to me like we are, approaching some sort of uptrend to the upside. So it is actually looking pretty bullish in my opinion. So let's go ahead and look at the 1 hourly. The 1 hourly doesn't look too bad. We've noticed that when we have, consolidation periods like this, we usually go ahead and have a massive breakout. So we could be seeing that sort of either 18 to possibly 30 something % pump, which would be a really nice trade if you are using a platform such as MEXC, where you could actually go ahead and take advantage of these bonuses and leverage all the way up to, I think now they're only doing 10x. They got rid of the 200x, but let's go ahead and see what Glenn says. Glenn says, crypto has been wild these last couple of days. I've been holding back more, but I did get some good long swings on Star L and Cake. We're definitely going to have to go ahead and check that out. Glenn says it has been a dangerous market, though. When Bitcoin decides to dip, everything else follows. I agree with you 100%, man. I completely agree with you. I do think that a lot of people are extremely fearful right now in the markets, and that's actually the reason why, the dumps have been actually a lot worse than what we expected. I mean, the fact that Bitcoin did approach the 30, I think it was like $38,000 down to like 30 something. It is getting a lot of people, scared. But as I always mention, when people are greedy, you want to become fearful. When people are fearful, that's when you want to go ahead and start getting greedy, if that makes any sense. I don't think that did. Vernon says, hello there, John. I'm sorry I haven't been on the last few streams, but I was quite busy and you didn't stream at the most optimal times either. Hey, what's up, Vernon? No worries, bro. I actually haven't streamed these last couple days. I took a break on Sunday, and then yesterday I was having some connection issues. I really do apologize. My times on uploading have been really on and off, but I promise you that as soon as I go ahead and get back home from vacation, we're gonna go ahead and be back on the grind. I think I had enough now. I partied enough, and I think I'm back to go ahead and appreciate these markets. But the good thing is that I could go ahead and say the markets really haven't been doing anything. The markets have been really choppy, as Glenn says, and honestly, sometimes you just need a break too. like everybody needs a break from the markets, and I have literally been uploading 7 days these last couple weeks, like literally like no sleep, just on the grind of uploading. So this little break that I took was needed to go ahead and get my head kind of out of this whole entire routine and get back in action. So I'm really excited to actually go back home now and start uploading with our consistency. I think I've had enough fun time. Now I'm back in the zone to go ahead and do that. But I do recommend all of you, if you can, go ahead and reset your brain, do different things, take a break from charts, from the markets, whatever the case is. Enjoy yourself, because you definitely want to go ahead and have a good state of mind. And with these last couple of days, I've had a freaking amazing time. and I'm kind of almost at the point where I'm like, oh fuck, dude, like I want my routine back. You know what I mean? I love getting my routine. I love uploading, at a certain time, certain days, and I'm ready to get back on the grind, uploading 2 to 3 videos a day, right? So I'm actually really excited to go ahead and be on today's stream, but I'm also excited to go ahead and go back home and get back on the grind. But as I mentioned, if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be making some really bad decisions in the markets, honestly, trading, if I wasn't doing what I'm currently doing right now. So I kind of been staying back with my positions, but it does seem like there is going to be some positions we will be entering very soon. And we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at Cake and Star L as well. Vernon says, hope you've made some more money, my guy. Yeah, I've actually have, man. I think it might have been yesterday or the day after that, I cleared like about $3,000 on big time, so that's pretty good. But right now, on my Wojak position, I'm actually down $3,000. I do think there's going to be some sort of upside very soon, I hope. But I do think moving forward too, with how the market has been moving, I think it's more of those markets that you just want to enter a trade in and out and not hold on to a trade for too long. And I feel like I kind of held on to Wojak a little too long than I wanted to. And I did get wrecked on a few other positions, but Wojak was one of those that I haven't, knocked on wood, gotten wrecked completely yet, but I am extremely bullish on that. And that's just because of the whole entire narrative with the Pepes, right? I've noticed that when, Pepe starts doing good, Pepe 2.0 does as well. And then we have the Wojaks and all the Pepe related or inspired meme coins kind of do the same trend. But looking at the fear and greed index chart, we're seeing that right now we are currently at a greed, which is obviously not too good in the market, but we were at neutral just last month. I think people are just overreacting to what we're seeing. As I mentioned, if I wasn't so occupied with my day having fun, I honestly would be freaking out as well too. But in my opinion, Bitcoin looks pretty bullish to me. I mean, just zoom out, man. like take a break. Like, yes, we did have Bitcoin pump all the way from over here all the way up to $38,000, and now taking a breather and looking to go ahead and find some sort of support, which could be around this zone, around the $34,000. And it might go ahead and sit here for a while before the next breakout to the upside, or I don't know, maybe Bitcoin dumps down to 30,000, right? I think right now Bitcoin's going to go ahead and do its thing. It was pumping for literally a few couple days, like literally, like if you measure it from here to here, we were probably pumping for a little bit over 10 days. So like we definitely need some red in the market, right? I don't know why people overreact. I think there's just an overreaction. As always, with more greed, people get more wrecked. So I think a lot of people were getting greedy during these stages, and we actually needed to go ahead and see Bitcoin take a breather, because the higher we go and we don't find a support, it's going to be more difficult for us to understand where the markets will be moving, right? So as soon as Bitcoin finds this sort of support, and if the support is respected around here, I think that's going to be a really good sign before the next pump to the upside on Bitcoin. But one thing we also need to go ahead and keep in mind is Bitcoin dominance. And how we all talked about the fact that when Bitcoin starts shifting its dominance, it starts going into altcoins and meme coins. So it's actually a good thing that Bitcoin is actually dumping. It does temporarily take a hit. Bitcoin does temporarily take a hit because people freak out, but realistically, Bitcoin dumping is actually a good sign for the altcoins and the meme coins, in my opinion. That just means that the money is now moving from Bitcoin to other assets such as Ethereum, and this is the reason why we've been having like Solana and all this, make new all-time highs. Like Solana has been pumping like freaking crazy. A lot of the like Solana related meme tokens are pumping like crazy. So I think overall, in my opinion, this is a really good sign for Bitcoin. Yes, we are going to go ahead and take a temporary hit and all that, but I always mention in the last couple like literally months, I've been saying that typically when Bitcoin falls below this area of the dominance, below the 48% dominance level, that's when we start to go ahead and see a lot of these meme tokens and a lot of these altcoin projects rally up. So that could be possibly the same thing, right? Usually we always get rejected at this area of resistance at the 48% mark on Bitcoin dominance. And I did mention that usually during these last 2 years, that's when we had the Shiba Inu, the pump back in October. So I do think that we're going to have some sort of, higher meme coin altcoin season run up. But in order, we need to go ahead and kind of find where the market's going to stabilize at, especially Bitcoin. So I do think that as soon as Bitcoin retraces to the levels that it needs to, starts consolidating, I think that's when we're going to go ahead and start to see a little bit more pumps into these altcoins moving forward, in my opinion. So I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, everything's bullish in my opinion. I don't see any negatives. Am I short-term bearish on Bitcoin? Yes, I am actually short-term bearish, and I've been saying this for a while already. You could actually go back to my live streams, and I've been saying how how I was bearish on Bitcoin these last couple of days because we've been pumping like crazy. And I told all of you that we needed to go ahead and see some sort of dump in order to go ahead and continue with this rally, right? Because we can't go on forever. And this is a clear sign of what could happen, both sides, when you're overly optimistic and then you start becoming greedy and start getting wrecked in the market. So I do think in these next couple of days, I think by the end of this week, we should get a better understanding of where Bitcoin's stabilizing at. Is it going to be at the 39.94 area, or it might be at the 34.134 area, right? So it does look like this is a massive buying zone. We definitely would not want to go ahead and see Bitcoin fall below 33,000. I think that's going to be a super bearish indicator, and it's definitely going to erase all the momentum and all the gains that we made. And people would be extremely bearish if Bitcoin does dump below $33,000. I mean, realistically, we could dump as low as 29, even $31,000 on Bitcoin and still be bullish. But having Bitcoin dump below these areas right here is definitely going to freak out a lot of people, and they're going to lose the confidence in the market. And that's something we definitely do not have, because right now we have the momentum, we have the kind of volume, and right now the confidence is looking pretty good. So as long as we could continue with this kind of momentum, as I mentioned, we can't have everything go up forever. We always need to take a break. So this is the reason why I really don't like when we see these massive pumps on a lot of these meme tokens or anything, because of the fact that we just don't know where the support is. And once we start dumping, people start freaking out, people get more liquidated, more money is lost, more people lose hope, and then they start changing the whole entire their whole entire perspective in the market. And I feel like these last couple of days I've been seeing a lot of like bearish news now. It's like, dude, you really can't make any of this shit up of how emotional people really are when it comes to these markets. How, one day they're talking about Bitcoin hitting 200,000, and the next day they're like, oh, it's going to $10,000, right? And people really do fall for this kind of shit. And this is the reason why sometimes it's better not to always go ahead and make trades. It's sometimes better to go ahead and take a breather. Vernon, what's your profit goal this year, John? I mean, this year alone, my goal would be, I would say, before the year ends, I would definitely like to go ahead and make like $80,000 to $100,000. That's definitely the short-term goal for the end of this year. I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible. I think, $80,000 to $100,000 would be, a really good, decent amount of money for me to go ahead and do some changes that I need. And it's definitely going to go ahead and not only expand my lifestyle, but it's definitely going to go ahead and help me do more content. You know what I mean? Diversify a little bit more. So I think $80,000 to $100,000 by the end of this year, before the year ends, which we literally almost have 1 month now, month and a half. It's realistic. It's possible. I just need to stop doing these like overly stupid freaking plays, like, not taking $13,000 in profit, 2 weeks ago with Pepe. Wish I would have done that. And maybe not risk as much. And I think I'll be able to approach that goal a lot quicker. But it's looking pretty good. I think 80,000 would definitely go ahead and put me in a solid state, and will allow me to do things in my life that I need to go ahead and do in order to go ahead and continue with this momentum that I have going on, right? So I'm really, really excited for that. But short term, I would say that's my goal, $80,000 by the end of this year. And what's your goal, by the way? Just Big Billy, how's it going, bro? My man is finally live again. Yeah, man. we getting back on the streams a little late, but we're definitely going to go ahead and get back in action as soon as we go back home from vacation. We're definitely going to go back to our, typical uploading style, and maybe actually an upload more, maybe start streaming twice a day now. But glad to go ahead and see you here, Billy. Tillery, what is going on, my guy? I haven't seen you in such a long time, bro. Hope you're doing well. And shout out to the team at Vegas Inu. Vernon, Vernon says, we have all missed you, John. It's great to have you back. I appreciate you, bro. I miss all of you guys too. Really do. As I mentioned, I look forward literally every day when it comes to streaming. So I'm just really excited to go ahead and go back home at this point. I think it's time for me to go ahead and get back in action when it comes to doing all of this. So definitely looking forward to that. You got it. Just Big Billy said, look at Sol, bro. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sol, and then let's go ahead and go straight into it. So let's take a look at Solana. Give me 1 second. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Solana. What is going on with Solana? Solana the daily, dude, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, and this is kind of the reason, like, when we go back, like when you have massive pumps like this and we really don't find the area of support, it's kind of scary trading around these areas. But dude, Solana has literally pumped over 200, or is it 400%? Over 200%, dude. That's freaking insane. Almost $60. It went from freaking $21 to 60. That's freaking insane. So right now with Solana on the daily, it looks like it might go up even higher. I mean, the RSI, typically you don't want to go ahead and get into these territories where they're kind of, overly bought, but that does give us a signal that Solana is definitely bullish to a lot of people, which is a good sign, right? The strength is definitely there. But I would say we definitely need to go ahead and find some sort of support. Support could go ahead and be around the $50 mark, so it could be looking pretty juicy to go ahead and take a look at Solana. But looking at the 4-hourly chart, we also do see the RSI is getting ready to go ahead and squeeze to the upside. So we're going to go ahead and see how that holds. This could actually be the new area of support, the $50 to $51 mark. So definitely go ahead and keep that on your eyes. For me to go ahead and enter a trade on Solana, if I was to go ahead and enter a trade, I'd probably do like a quick little scalp trade, maybe on the smaller time frames, maybe like on the 15-minute chart if I really do want to go ahead and enter a trade. But personally, I would say that if you were to go ahead and look into a trade, we are currently entering some very strong areas of resistance. So this is usually the time you do not want to go ahead and be entering into the market. You want to be entering around these zones. You definitely want to go ahead and enter around the zones like around here, which would be not too far away, 55,905 and yeah, 55,905, let's call it, and then we could go ahead and say 55,062. So anywhere between this zone right here would be a good entry zone. But right now Solana is kind of either getting ready for a massive breakout. So this is, for me personally, it's very difficult to go ahead and enter trade positions like this because I usually always get wrecked when I'm entering positions like this. So Solana does look like it's going to be having some sort of breakout, but for me personally, I just wouldn't jump into a Solana trade at the moment. That's just due to the fact that we are some very critical areas of resistance. But looking at the smaller time frame, you could go ahead and see that this is a nice little area of support. So you can actually go ahead and swing trade Solana from the 56 up to the 57.585 zone. So you could do a quick little scalp trade on Solana. I think it'd be really good. Make a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 on the short term. That would be a really good sign right here. But if we do go ahead and see on the 30-minute chart, we do see that there is some sort of uptrend coming around, and we are getting ready to go ahead and get to that breakout. So ideally for me personally, if I was to go ahead and trade Solana, understand that you could go ahead and enter a small trade, either swing trade it up to like the $57 mark and capture that small little momentum to the upside, or wait for this thing to go ahead and find the breakout point. And I think as soon as it probably breaks the 59, though, we could go ahead and jump back up to $61. But ideally, as soon as the breakout happens, what the goal would be to wait for it to go ahead and drop, find support, enter a trade around right here. For me personally, I'd be a little bit more comfortable entering a trade right here, longer term, knowing that Solana will be approaching the $64 mark one more time. So Solana is looking pretty good. As I mentioned, if you are looking to go ahead and go in, just look at those critical areas. As I mentioned, try to enter a trade at 55.896. I do think that could be another area of support, or maybe this is the area of support. But this is the reason why I don't like entering trades at these tops right here. They're really, really risky unless you do the smaller time frames, as I mentioned, and just swing trade this thing up to the 57, which would be a nice little like 2% trade, which is not too bad, right? But yeah, so Solana is definitely pumping, and because of Solana pumping, I do think that you could take advantage of the Solana driven projects, like the meme tokens that are by Solana. For example, like Bonk. I've been seeing that actually Bonk went a little bit over like 30% today. So as you see, this is literally approaching the same thing as Solana. So if you want like more of a bigger risk, high reward, and you want to be, into the Solana kind of trades, I think entering Bonk would be a good one. I think Billy was the one that told me that they usually move together, which makes sense, right? Because Bonk is a Solana driven project. We do see that the RSI just crossed. It's giving us bullish indicators right now. We do see that the bottom was at this 15 cent range or 15 area right here. So this to me looks very bullish. So if you would be entering a trade, I would say, you know, bonk would be a really good one. Obviously right now we are at some areas of resistance, so I would just go ahead and wait for this thing to go ahead and dump. This might be probably following a typical cup and handle pattern, what it usually does. You know, it dumps, retraces. You could probably enter a trade around the 0.21 zone right here, 0.21. Let me go ahead and mark that for you. Let me go ahead and read chat right now. So we could go ahead and enter probably like a trade right here. You can enter a trade like right there, or you could go ahead and wait for it to go ahead and touch the 18. I don't think we'll touch 18. I think it's probably going to go ahead and dump down to 21, in my opinion. Maybe at the lowest, in my opinion, would be like 19. And then we're going to go ahead and have it retest this area of resistance one more time, possibly being the breakout. And as soon as we get that breakout, touch the 30 again. So I've been actually trading bonk a lot, and bonk's, dude, it has been freaking amazing to go ahead and trade. So definitely if you want to take advantage of volatility, I would go ahead and put bonk on your watch list if you really want to get into a Solana. But Solana for me right now, I'm just not touching. I feel like I kind of missed out. Like if I find another trade setup, I'll jump in, but I haven't found any. As I mentioned, the 1 minute chart looks pretty good, or the 3 minute chart. And then for bonk, you could go ahead and take advantage of that Solana trade. But in my opinion, bonk looks, at least to me, I would feel more comfortable entering a trade on bonk because I understand where bonk would be going. I know Solana could possibly go ahead and have a breakout to the upside. And I would say, I think that if Solana does pump, you know, bonk is definitely going to go ahead and make, you know, crazy new all-time high. So I would rather put myself in a position with bonk where it's a higher risk but a higher reward, as opposed to, I feel like with Solana right now, if I enter a trade on Solana, it's a higher risk with a small reward, and I would rather take the high risk, high reward if I'm even taking that kind of risk already, right? So might as well take advantage of that risk. But I think bonk, you could probably find a good entry point a lot easier than Solana. With Solana, you just kind of don't know. This is the reason why I don't like when projects just pump forever, because it's really difficult to go ahead and find support. But I wouldn't be surprised if Solana does pump even higher. And I do think Solana will pump a lot higher too. Let's go ahead and read some comments real quick. Let me go ahead and read some comments real quick. Oops, what happened? Okay, let's go ahead and see. Okay, just Big Billy says, been making a couple swings on it today, only doing like $50 trades, made about 25. I just swinging it today. I'm just trying to learn how the market moves and find patterns. Yeah, Solana is a really good trade. I mean, as I mentioned, I think right now this is like the time to go ahead and enter a trade in and out, whether it's $50, $100, $2,000, $3,000 profits. I think it's worth taking them right now. I heard this whole entire thing going on with the Grok, how it dumped a lot. So like this is kind of the reason why you always want to go ahead and take profits. And I put myself in that position too, right? Because with Pepe 2.0, I could have taken that 13 grand profits, and I decided not to go ahead and take them. I took an $8,000 loss instead, recovered my money. But you know, we just never know how high and how forever pumps are going to happen. So I would always recommend, you know, take your profits, enjoy the profits, and then re-enter other positions, or, you know, take a break and then re-enter positions. You know, the goal is not to go ahead and become a millionaire overnight. The goal is to go ahead and be consistent when it comes to trading. And the more you understand certain patterns, the more you understand how breakouts, how support and resistance, the more mistakes you typically also do, the more you're able to go ahead and learn from those mistakes and be able to become a better trader moving forward, right? So that's kind of the reason why, for me personally, I would rather go ahead and take profits. I know a lot of you, you know, have the mindset of, you know, holding forever, and that's not my ideal anymore. I used to be that kind of person, but I do think that with the risk in the market that we're having right now, I think this is the time to go ahead and take advantage of those pumps, because we just don't know where the top or the bottom is. You know, like literally probably last week was the bottom for Bitcoin, and we could probably never see, any of these projects pump again, right? So like, if you would have taken your profits, you would have at least made money during this bear market. So for me, I would say, congratulations to Billy for doing that, taking $50 profits, whatever the case is. I would say take profits and re-enter trades. That's really what the goal is. Moon Joker says, John, Grok 2.0 is the next Pepe 2.0. Nice. I'm going to have to go ahead and check that out. Saeed, welcome back. How's it going, Saeed? Long time no see, bro. Moon Joker says, I made $2,500 from a $200 investment in Grok 2.0 and about $1,200 on Grok. Nice, bro. It's a really nice freaking trade right there. That's about 25 and... Damn, it's insane, dude. That's like $3,700. Nice. Saeed says, Pepe 2.0 is cooking for big pump. The good thing is we are holding support. I agree with you 100%. I do agree with you. Pepe 2.0 does seem to be holding some sort of support. Just Big Billy says, all right, bro, I got to go ahead and head into work. Good to see you streaming again. Really appreciate you for tuning in, bro, and I hope you have a great day at work today, man. Moon Joker says Grok 2.0 is a good entry for both. I'll definitely go ahead and take a look at that. Tillery just says, just getting off of work. Hope you had a great day today, bro. I'm glad to see you here, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Moon Joker says, watching John live while having my dumpling from a Nepal restaurant. That sounds good, bro. I was watching this short today of this guy eating a freaking dumpling, and I'm like, dude, those look freaking fire right now. I want one. Tillery says, Vernon says, take a look at Samoyed. It's on Solana. Let's go ahead and take a look at Samoyed. Count, how's it going? Hi from Germany. Shout out to Germany. Samoyed. I heard about Samoy. I heard about this one. Interesting. Oh yeah, I think we actually did have this one right. Ooh, dude, this thing's looking like a breakout is happening. This actually looks like a pretty good trade. See, these are the kind of projects you want to start jumping into, are the ones that you kind of see some sort of breakouts that you understand the way they move, right? Obviously, right now, I wouldn't suggest all of you to go ahead and run unless this is the area of support, but I would go ahead and patiently look for a point of entry. But Samo definitely does look like it's going to be pumping as well. So, and that's if you believe in the Solana. I would rather have you trade Samo and Bonk instead of Solana, because I think if you're going to put yourself at a high risk with Solana, might as well get a high reward with it, bro. Like, why not go ahead and make more money if you're going to be risking about the same, right? So obviously it's not as simple as it sounds. Obviously you're going to get more volatility when it comes to a lot of these shit coins and all that, but at least you're going to get rewarded, right? As opposed to Solana. Solana is at a critical area. Even this thing is at a critical area too, even on a 30-minute chart. We are at an area of resistance. So I would go ahead and wait to enter find some sort of support. I think support could be around the zone right here, around the 739. So it looks like we are getting close to breaking down to this downside, and it's usually the same shit, you know what I mean? It pumps, kind of dumps, forms like a little cup and handle pattern. After it finds the support, it might either consolidate or it might just go ahead and straight bounce back up. So typically it would dump, either consolidate, test one more time, and then probably have the breakout to the upside. And this is usually the time when you want to go ahead and be jumping in. You never want to be jumping into your trades right here unless you're quick little 5-10 minute trades. But on the 30-minute chart, and we have seen that we are at a very critical area of resistance, I would definitely wait for this thing to go ahead and break to the downside, hold this support at 7391 or 739. I think this would be a good area to buy in. Not financial advice, but you also go ahead and take a lower risk if you buy in at the zone right here. If it dumps, you could go ahead and buy this dip again if you're still holding, and it's going to go ahead and have that breakout to the upside, as opposed to buying in right here at the top, which we do see it's a very critical area of resistance. And if this thing just freaking doesn't do what we are expecting, and it dumps down right here and it goes down even further, you're actually risking a lot more money, as opposed to buying in right here. It dumps, you buy this dip right here, and you buy one last dip before the final big pump again. And even from that bottom into the top, you're saying even for a small little swing trade, ideally that's a nice little 10% pump. And if you go ahead and capture it from this bottom right here, that would be a nice little 20% pump. So it's a lower risk if you go ahead and wait for you to go ahead and buy around this zone right here. This is a super it's a higher risk, right? Because we are at a critical area of resistance, at least on the 30-minute chart. So even the hourly is showing the same thing. So, I mean, as I mentioned, when it comes to this, you really don't have to be a rocket scientist. You have to be patient and look for entries. And Samo, I think it's called. It looks like it's forming some sort of support very soon, and it's gonna break down to the downside. And this is where, you know, either buying right here, getting lucky, and buying right here would be worth the trade. It's this to me, like it's a high risk, high reward, as opposed to Solana being a high risk, low reward, in my opinion. So Samo looks pretty good. I would just say keep your eyes out on that. Look for an entry as well. Ideally, the 739 would be a pretty good entry point. And yeah, it's kind of giving us the same signs all across every other chart that we're looking at. Daily chart does look bullish to me as well too. So it looks like we are going to be having some sort of breakout to the upside. This is actually the same pattern that I've actually traded with Bonk. So ideally, this Samo could go ahead and possibly touch. Let's go ahead and see. Could go ahead and touch around the 0.114, which is about a 80% pump. So that's not too bad of a trade, right? Especially if you're using leverage. So Samo is definitely going to be one on my watch list. I'm going to be looking for an entry point shortly today. So definitely keep your eyes out on Samo, and as well, I said Bonk could go ahead and be a trade if you're filling a Solana. I think Solana is going to go up higher, as I mentioned, but it's also at a very critical area of resistance. It has been pumping like crazy, and you could, if it does have a breakout to the upside, in my opinion, I don't think you will be making that much money if you're trading Solana as opposed to trading Samo and all these other projects. Will I trade Solana? Yeah, 100%. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't I trade Solana, right? But right now, if I'm going to put myself in that kind of risk, I would rather have a high reward come with it, you know? So for that reason, right now, I'm not touching Solana. It could be a better pattern to go ahead and trade as a quick little scalp on the shorter time frame, like the 3 to 15 minute chart, and just trade that for a couple grand or a couple $100, quick little swing trade. But as opposed to like having that like medium term, you know, hold on to the back for a few days, I would say Samo and Bonk would be pretty good ones to go ahead and do that with, because it does look like some sort of massive breakout to the upside will be coming very soon. Let's go ahead and read the other comments. Tillery Mills, Vegas Inu, and then he also says Pepe 2.0. Let's freaking go. Count hi from Germany. Shout out to Germany. Hey, Happy, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day today. Thank you for tuning in. Glenn says long-term bought Solana at $30. I wanted to get some more, but there hasn't been a chance. I won't even touch it for a swing trade. Yeah, see, that's exactly how I feel with Solana. I made money with Solana, and I've been making more money trading these Solana-related meme tokens, but Solana is like, it's just too risky for me. It's just not worth the risk. Like, I'm not gonna risk my freaking portfolio just to make a couple $100. Like, I'm not gonna risk thousands to make a couple $100. You know what I mean? In order for me to make good money on Solana, I would have to be putting a good amount of money, which I'm not willing to go ahead and risk, and it's just too much of a high risk, low reward. Now, would I go ahead and trade Solana as a safer alternative? Yeah, of course, because you could go ahead and capture $200-300, but it is a higher, you do need to put more money into it. Count says, what's your take on jumping into bypass after the correction? What is bypass? I've never heard of bypass. Let's go ahead and look at bypass. I don't know what bypass is. But yeah, if this is bypass, that's a freaking nasty chart. $13 days ago. I think this might be it. Ooh. I mean, it looks like it probably found some sort of area of support. If it does go ahead and break above this area right here, which is going to be around the $2 and what is it, $2.30. I think as long as we could go ahead and break above that, we could definitely go ahead and see another breakout to the upside and possibly see, you know, a bypass hit around $6. So it's looking like a pretty good, you know, trade setup. But if it does go ahead and get rejected right here, it is going to go ahead and dump down to around the 18 cents if it does get rejected at this area of resistance, which is a pretty strong area of resistance. I think with a little bit more volume and momentum picking up, I think this thing could go ahead and break through it. Yeah, it looks like it's getting ready to swing to the upside and break through it. So if it does go ahead and break through it, this would be a pretty nice trade to go ahead and enter and see bypass approach around $6 short term. So hopefully bypass, you can go ahead and trade that on MEXC soon. Looks like you can't yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to when you're going to be able to trade that on MEXC, because I want to go ahead and swing trade that. Yeah, it looks like they don't have it yet. Glenn says, did you see the big dumps on BNT, Uno, and gas? Dude, I took a massive hit on gas. I got liquidated on gas for like $300 to $400. So just be very careful. Yeah, this is the reason why you don't chase those kind of trades. I want to get into a long-term BNT long, but it really isn't showing any strength yet. Let's go ahead and see BNT real quick. I mean, BNT is showing somewhat of somewhat strength, you know. I mean, it looks like it found some support, but it's looking like it's kind of doing the same thing that a lot of these meme tokens are doing. I don't know what BNT is. Maybe it's not a meme token, but it's definitely showing a lot of that kind of same thing. This is the same thing that Wojak's doing as well. It's having this kind of this zone right here where it just, you know, just holds on to and hopefully breaks through. If it does break through it, then this is going to be the new area of support around the 83 cents. And, you know, entering a trade around this right here, I think would be very, very, will be a really good trade is what I'm trying to say. My bad. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, this is a critical area of resistance as well too. So I think if we could go ahead and break above this and find this area of support, I think we could go ahead and say more than likely we could go ahead and approach short term up to the 95.95, and that's not a bad trade. That's about 16% pump, and that's like low hanging fruit type of like tops that it could reach, right? Because realistically, you know, its all-time high was a little bit over $1. But the 45-minute chart is looking pretty good. Let's see the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart is looking good. I think you're going to be getting ready for a breakout soon, bro. I think as soon as BNT gets a breakout, I think it could be a really good trade as well. So we definitely do need to go ahead and have BNT on our watch list, because it does look like it's getting ready to go ahead and break through that as well. PBLU at breath. How's it going, bro? Hope you're having a great day today. BP. Let's see. I apologize. I'm a little low on energy, chat. Honestly, I haven't been feeling all good today, and that's kind of the reason why I'm like super like freaking tired type of stuff, you know. So I apologize for being low energy as I usually am. You know, usually I'm super hypered on energy because I'm drinking a shitload of energy drinks, but right now I'm like not feeling too well and all that, so just hang with me. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It has 27,000, you know, of liquidity. You know, I just don't like the 27,000 on liquidity. No offense to anybody, but yeah, I just don't like this token right here. Plan Blue, I think it's called. Yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing on that. But I mean, overall, it looks like a lot of these meme tokens are taking a hit. So I wouldn't be too worried right now. I do think that we are going to probably have this whole entire week be some sort of consolidation week, but we are going to be seeing some massive breakouts either to the upside or to the downside by the end of this week. So I do think this week's very, very important. So definitely go ahead and stay alert of the market. Do not hold on to massively big positions, because this is the reason why a lot of people got wrecked these last couple of days, including myself, due to the fact that we got overly greedy. Right now the market's showing us why we don't want to ever be too overly greedy into this market. Love you too, Breath. Appreciate you, man. I have 20K in that coin. You're wild, man. That's the thing, man. That's if you have 20K on that, bro. I just hope you take profits. I don't want to go ahead and say much, and obviously, I don't want to FUD, your bag or anybody's bag, but like the volume's kind of low for me. I just don't like that, and then the liquidity is just super super risky. But I mean, it is locked for 12 months, right? So I can't really say that, but best of luck on this trade. I hope it does play out pretty well for you and you do get more traction onto this token. But just to me, for me personally, I'm just not going to touch it. And that's just because I don't feel comfortable with it. You know what I mean? I only like to trade things I understand and I like. And I've noticed that's usually when I don't lose as much money. But when I'm trading something I don't understand and I'm just jumping in for the hype, I usually get wrecked. Like for example, like I got told about Grok since like it was at 10 million market cap, and I was literally on my way over here to vacation, and I had a buddy of mine tell me about Grok, and I was actually looking at it at these zones right here, since over here. So I could have jumped into Grok, but because I didn't feel confident or comfortable in the project, I never jumped in. But look, people still made money. I literally missed out on a freaking 16x because I didn't feel comfortable in it. You know what I mean? Do I feel bad about not entering a Grok position? Not really, dude. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I've realized that in this space, especially when it comes to trading, you definitely do not want to go ahead and be chasing any of these projects. But it does look like Grok will be having some sort of breakout, and they actually did launch on MEXC just recently. So this could actually also be a nice little trade setup for us coming along. But see, for me personally, I really don't care about, massive pumps like this if I miss out on a project, because I know there's always going to be another project to go ahead and capture that momentum and that wave. So this is the reason why I always tell all of you, don't chase any of these projects. Like if you missed out on Pepe 2.0, that's why I told a lot of you, like if you didn't jump in now, like at this point it's not even worth risking it. Like I was telling a lot of you that, a lot of you like, hey John, like should I buy? I was literally telling you no. And it's not because I didn't want any of you guys to make money. It's because I knew that once like a project starts approaching, super high levels where it just starts pumping like crazy and doesn't find a support, this is where you get wrecked, where it just literally dumps out of nowhere and people freak out, and it has a 73% dump. And then all the people get wrecked right here. It's like you don't want to be jumping in right here. You want to be jumping in when people like myself have doubt or don't believe in a project. This is where you're taking the less risk. Because at this zone right here, if it does pump, you get these massive pumps to a 13x. But you don't want to be jumping in when everybody's talking about it at this top, because this is where you get wrecked. So whenever you hear a project that's hot and you missed out on it, don't chase it. If you could look for an entry, ride the wave, whatever the case is. But if you don't feel comfortable in the project, or you just don't want to jump in, don't freaking jump in, man. I missed out on Grok. I was literally looking at Grok in the first couple days that it came out. I had a buddy of mine tell me about it around these zones right here. He told me about it right here. I didn't fucking understand what Grok was. I didn't know. I think he made a little bit over $50,000 on this. I don't know if he took profits. I hope he did. But I didn't jump in. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can't capture every one of these trades. There's a lot of money to be made in this space, trust me. And there's a reason why I always say, like, only, buy in or invest in what you believe in. Because if you believe in the project, you'll be able to hold when it's dumping or it's looking very, very cautious, right? For example, my buddy believed in this project early on since over here. And he told me about it. Hey, bro, buy. Didn't listen, and then it took off. You know what I mean? But I also said the same thing to a lot of people with Pepe 2.0, and a lot of people didn't jump into Pepe 2.0, right? But I made a decent amount of money on Pepe 2. So there's always going to be the next Grok, the next Pepe, and just remember that these are prime examples that even though we could be pumping like crazy, we could also be dumping like crazy. Brett says, I have 20K in that coin. No, not taking profits. Any profits. I love Blue. All good, bro. No worries. Nah, Blue is a real project. I never said Blue's not a real project, man. I'm just saying that, like, Blue is just a project I just don't feel comfortable, buying for me personally. But, I'm telling you, like, not just because I don't feel comfortable buying it, it doesn't mean there isn't money to be made, right? So, Just be careful. It's what I'm saying. Just be careful. You're an early buyer. Yeah, if you're an early buyer, you take really less risk. But as long as you understand risk to reward, and if your model is, buying and holding and never taking profits, and you're comfortable doing that, then that's okay, right? I'm not here to go ahead and tell you like how to do things, how to not do things. For me personally, my approach of not taking profits is definitely not my style. I think not taking profits is really, really bad in my opinion. And I learned a lot from the last freaking bull run that I got wrecked. And then I got a reminder last week too. You know what I mean? I should have taken my $13,000 profit on Pepe, because at least I would have had a total of a $30,000 portfolio right here instead of a $13,000 portfolio, right? So my portfolio is worth half because I didn't take profits, and I actually ended up losing money. So not only did I not take the $13,000 profit, I actually lost $8,000, recovered my money, but it is what it is, right? And that was just because I got overly greedy, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. That even though I understand this, it's sometimes very, very difficult to not follow your own rules if you don't have that kind of discipline. So I would say, your focus should be building that discipline and understanding that if you don't want to jump into a project, don't jump in. If you feel confident and comfortable in a project, and let's say I don't like the project, or I don't see the positive in the project, doesn't mean you shouldn't buy it. You should be allowed to buy whatever the fuck you want to buy. I think all I'm saying is just giving you my perspective and my opinion. Glenn says, don't touch Grok. Swing trade, maybe. What place are you feeling right now, John? Vernon. I'm feeling Bonk. I'm feeling anything Solana related. I think any meme token that's Solana related is going to do really good. And then right now, I think just taking a look at the Pepes, I think Pepes are going to be having some sort of breakout to the upside. So just have the Pepes and the Solana inspired tokens on your watch list. But I am looking to go ahead and trade a little bit more of these higher cap altcoins, because right now I still don't feel fully 100% comfortable in this market, especially with the meme tokens. I think it's just too volatile right now. This is the time where you don't want to be entering these freaking meme tokens. Like, you want to be entering when no one cared about them and talked about them. That's where you make the most money, right? You don't make the most money when freaking everybody's overly greedy and hyped because, the markets just fluctuate like crazy and freaking everybody gets wrecked. Glenn says Grok will get rugged. I heard about Grok, being, rugged or some shit like that. I don't know. It could be a possibility. I think a swing trade would be good, but I wouldn't hold on to this thing to the moon. Vernon says, do let me know when you are entering Samoy, John. As I mentioned, I will be entering Samoy. I would just go ahead and wait for some sort of support first. And I think that's going to be happening very soon. Samo, I would be entering Samo. I'll probably go ahead and put a buy entry order around the 0.739 zone. I think it's going to dump. And look, ever since we talked about it, being at this very critical area of resistance, we are seeing that kind of dump. So do expect another 5% dump. It's not that big of a dump, right? You could wait a couple more minutes before entering a trade, but I probably will be entering a trade on Samoa as soon as I go ahead and get off live stream. Just because I don't have my MEXC account connected, and I want to wait and see how the market reacts first before entering a trade. But I think Samoa could go into these two massive areas of support, down to the 0.739 and then down to the 710 or 711. These two zones right here, I think Samoa could go ahead and find a support. But right now, I would like to go ahead and see it find some sort of support before entering your trade. And taking a look at Solana too, how it's doing. You see how it's dumping right now? It's freaking crazy. You really can't make any of this shit up. But everybody that's on the live stream right now, go ahead and smash that like button for me. I do see there's about 14 of you watching, probably a little bit more, but smash that like button for me. I see 9 likes right now. Literally costs you no money, help support the channel, and it's completely free. And all it does is take 1 second to smash that like button for me. So go ahead and do me a huge favor by smashing that like button for me. We are very close to getting monetized. I think we're going to get monetized by the end of this month. So I'm definitely excited. All thanks for all of your help for doing that. As I always mention, my success is your success. We definitely share all of that success together. So definitely go ahead and smash that like button for me. Let's go ahead and see Grok real quick, because I was thinking of entering a trade on Grok because it's now available on MEXC, which, you know, all of you know it's one of my preferred platforms. But, you know, as usual, when you get listed on MEXC, dude, they freaking dump and you can't make that shit up. And literally as soon as it got, you know, listed on MEXC, it did end up having that massive dump. It had the MEXC dump effect, right? As people like to go ahead and call it. And this is the reason why I always tell all of you, like, when a meme token is getting listed on MEXC, bro, you want to short that shit. You don't want to be freaking longing it. Yes, you could go ahead and long it, you know, the first couple hours when it comes out, but after that, it's going to be followed by a massive dump. And that's actually what we're seeing right now with with Grok. You can't make this shit up, bro. Look at this. How bullish does this freaking chart look to you, man? Literally 80% dump as soon as it got listed on MEXC. This is the reason why I always tell all of you, if you really want to make crazy money in this market, you take the risk on the decentralized exchanges using Uniswap or 1inch. As soon as a token announces that it's going to get listed on MEXC, you end up selling before it gets fully listed. You're probably going to get a few days of announcement, or like, you know, a time frame, you know, 15 minutes before it gets listed. It might have a short-term pump, but most of the time it usually dumps. So for me personally, what I would go ahead and do if I was into any of these projects before they get announced into MEXC, I would buy them as soon as they get the listing from MEXC. Before they get listed, I would sell them, take my profits, enter a short when it goes live on MEXC, and then short all the way down. But usually, typically, it pumps for like a couple hours for 15 minutes, and then dumps the next day after that. So that's the MEXC effect. And I've been telling a lot of you, it's like, dude, getting listed on MEXC, like, no offense, and MEXC is like one of our partners, but no offense, like, when they're getting listed on MEXC, that's when you want to sell, or you want to go ahead and enter a short too. Obviously not financial advice, but this is what I've witnessed with a lot of these tokens, that as soon as they get listed on MEXC, they typically always freaking dump, bro. Glenn says, pump the likes. Yeah, pump it up. It's on MEXC spot too. You can see the run up. Yeah, I think I actually entered Grok on spot on MEXC. Now it was actually doing pretty good. I took a small little profit. I think it was like, I put in $200 and I made like $60 in a couple days. So profits are profits. So I'm satisfied taking $60 a day, $100 a day, $200 a day. I'm not being overly greedy right now at the moment. Dwayne, how's it going, bro? Long time no see. Hopefully Pepe 2 will do amazing things next bull run. Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the biggest things with Pepe 2, as I mentioned, one of the biggest critical things in my opinion is that, you know, liquidity, some sort of liquidity will be getting unlocked, I think, in the next couple months. And for me personally, I'm just not holding on to any of these projects long term. Like, I'm sorry to tell you that. Like, I'm probably going to be one of the very few influencers that you hear in the space, you know, telling you that they don't hold on to a lot of these shit coins. And that's just because I believe it's a super high risk. And right now with with Pepe 2.0, I think it's one of those that, like, can it go ahead and be one of the top freaking altcoins and hit $1 billion? I think so. But, you know, for me personally, just because I understand how a lot of these meme tokens move, to me, it's just not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk, you know, holding on forever, like moon bagging it. Like, if I did, imagine how much money I would have lost more if I would have continued to hold on to the project on Pepe 2 when I lost $8,000, right? Because I was still holding on to my position from here. I added more to my position, didn't take profits. From $13,000 went to negative $8,000. I took the $8,000 loss, moved on, made the money back in 2 days, and then Pepe 2.0 dumped even further to where I predicted. So now, right now, if I enter a trade on Pepe 2.0, not only will I have a lower risk, but I'll actually have a way better entry than I actually had before, with a lower risk, with a higher reward, making even more money than before. So it's like nothing but positives, right? So this is the reason why I would rather, you know, enter, trade, exit, take profits, re-enter, because now I'm minimizing my risk, and I'm also having more money to add onto my bags. And it's more of a positive win-win situation, just in case it doesn't do what we're expecting for a project to go ahead and do, right? So I think Pepe 2.0 it's going to be a really nice project to trade. But you also have to go ahead and keep in mind that we have about 6% of liquidity being unlocked in 1 month, and then the remaining like 70% plus, which is about almost 90%, it's going to be unlocked in 7 months. So would I want to go ahead and hold on to a project that would have, you know, a little bit over $1 million of liquidity unlocked in 7 months? No. That's kind of the reason why I'm trading a lot of these meme tokens, because you just don't know. And same thing with Grok. Like, I hope everybody that jumped into Grok made money. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't sell when it was at over 100 million market cap, like, look at this, dude. It went up to 6 cents. And it just dumped like 50%. Like more than 50%, probably like 90%. I don't even know if this wick is actually real, but like that's about an 88%, dump. Imagine how many people got wrecked right here. And that's why you don't want to be chasing none of these projects. And this is the reason why you take profits. I've been taking profits on Bonk. I've been taking profits on all these projects. Like, if I would have held on to my trade on Bonk, dude, I would have made a lot more money than $3,000 when I closed my position. I probably would have been up $6,000. But it is what it is. I'm happy with the $3,000. Obviously, I want more money. And I'm not saying I'm satisfied with the $3,000, but I'm saying that at least I pocketed, $3,000. And if I really want to enter that trade again, I could go ahead and enter with a lower risk or maybe even a bigger bag because I just made more money. And that's why for me personally, I like swing trading these markets. I think it's better in my opinion. I think it minimizes your risk. And I think that's it's the best way to go ahead and find more opportunity, in my opinion. Welcome, everyone. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Glenn says, I know MEXC meta is too short on listing, but it was already due for a dump, 100%. If MEXC sees this part of the stream, they will have John's head. Dude, I'm just not gonna go ahead and like wreck any of you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go ahead and sit here and like tell you what I see in front of my eyes that clearly everybody sees. And just because we're partnered with them, like you know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. Like you can't hide it. And if it's if it's not true, if it's just a conspiracy theory, MEXC shouldn't have a problem. Honestly, you know what I mean? Could they go ahead and get disappointed? I mean, yes, but this is the reason why I don't put all my trust into any of these exchanges to begin with, and you shouldn't either. MEXC is one of my preferred platforms. I love MEXC. I like how they list a lot of these shit coins. I think if you understand how these markets are moving and you're aware of how the market moves, I think you're going to be making more money than losing money. The people that typically lose more money, trading a lot of these tokens that we talk about is because they're really emotional. They don't even understand what they're freaking doing. And the third one is that they don't know how to take profits. So that's kind of the reason why, these meme tokens have a really bad rep. But in reality, the people that are creating these meme tokens are literally creating them just to go ahead and scam you and I out of our money. So if you don't take advantage of you at least making money off what they're creating, you're pretty stupid to go ahead and get wrecked on a lot of these projects. Believing what these developers have to say, right? So like whose fault is it? Is it really MEXC's fault? Is it the developer's fault? Or is it your fault for believing the fucking developer to begin with? A developer that you don't even fucking know you're putting your trust into. You know what I mean? And you really can't make any of this shit up. This is the reason why people get wrecked and the reason why, meme tokens have a bad freaking name. I understand the risk, but I think the reward is definitely worth it in my opinion. You could turn $100 into a couple $1,000 as opposed to trading Bitcoin. You're not gonna do that shit with $100, bro. You're not. Like if you don't have a lot of money to begin with, risking $500 to $1,000 or even $100, you have a higher probability of making thousands of dollars trading shit coins and making money a lot quicker and with a lot less risk. Because you can start out with $100 and turn it into $2,000-$3,000. They're not even having to freaking do any futures leverage trading. Now imagine if you add futures to fucking shit coins. That's like freaking free money on steroids, bro. Like straight up, you can't make it up. So this is kind of the reason why I don't care. You have to be able to recognize these patterns. And if you're fooling yourself, that you see like. It'd be me fooling myself that I see that, every time a token gets listed on MEXC, it dumps. I'd be dumb not to be able to recognize that shit, like straight up. But if you recognize it, you're going to be like, oh, cool, guys. Like, so we buy in before it gets listed on MEXC. You sell as soon as it gets listed on MEXC. You make money both ways. So why does it matter, right? So either way, MEXC's making money. I'm making money, you're making money, we're all making money. So I don't think MEXC should really care with what I just freaking said. Glenn says, when I get a good win on futures, I allocate some of the spot into positions on spot to preserve funds. It's good to take profit out and put it on the side. Yeah, man. I'm just sitting right now on I'm just sitting on money right now. Literally sitting on a couple grand, just waiting for a position to enter. I am holding on to Wojak, which is not doing too good for me right now, honestly. As I mentioned, I'm down like 3 grand. And hopefully, I think this trade's going to pick up very soon. Actually, it's picking up right now. Oh, so it's actually going up. I was down like $3,700, $3,500, and I'm actually down $3,100 right now. So, and I'm nowhere near my margin either. So, like, honestly, this is probably the stupidest trade I've done on Wojak. So hopefully, moving forward, that if this position does play out pretty well for me, I'm not going to put myself in this risk ever again. But I do think that my risk is super, super high on Wojak, and my reward is it's not the best in my opinion. I think my reward, like even if I was to go ahead and sell at actually it's not that bad. If it does hit the zone that I think, that's going to be about a $13,000 trade right there, which would be pretty nice, right? But I do think that I'm risking a little too much, and that's just because I put a little bit more money into margin, just so I won't have to risk getting liquidated. But I definitely wouldn't put myself in that position again, dude. Definitely wouldn't. I think it was the dumbest freaking thing I've done. And not putting stop losses, I think it's also one thing that I've been kind of fucking up a lot. And people are like, dude, you're fucking wild for not putting stop losses. But every time I put stop losses, I always get wrecked. But also, every time I don't put stop losses, I'm almost like shitting bricks every day, hoping that I don't get liquidated. So like, it's not the best thing to do. As I told you, a lot of the trades that I go into are high risk, high reward. But this is the reason why, like when I make a trade, like I'm able to make $4,000, $13,000 in one trade, risking very little money, because I'm pretty much like all in. And I know that the money I'm putting in, there's a high chance of me freaking probably getting liquidated and losing all my money. But I understand the risk, and that's the reason why the reward comes with it. Obviously it's not the best risk management that I have. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I have the freaking best risk management. I think I'm probably like one of the last I'm the last person you want to fucking learn risk management from. I'm like the worst when it comes to that. I'm learning every day. I'm watching other YouTubers analyzing the way they do the risk management side of things. I'm not good at that. I could accept that, but I'm really good at finding trends early on before anybody can, because I've been able to make money multiple freaking times before any major breakout happened. And it wasn't just once, it was multiple times. It was during the weed stocks, it was during the electric vehicle stocks, it was during the GameStop and AMC before it became a thing. I was buying those things. I was buying GameStop at like $6, bro. People were making fun of me. Nobody was bullish on YouTube at the time. There was really no freaking YouTubers at the time talking about GameStop. So like I was able to capture all these freaking trends early on. Pepe 2.0 I was able to capture early on at a 2-3 million market cap, rode it all the way up to 38 million market cap. So I'm really good at identifying patterns, but I'm just not good at doing, proper risk management. And that's something I'm learning every freaking day, and I'm trying to go ahead and push. That's why I say take profits, because right now I'm proud of myself because of the fact that within these last couple months of rewiring my brain in my trading journey once again. Last bull run I had the mentality of like diamond handing. Same thing with AMC and GameStop. And in AMC I got wrecked, but I made decent money too on AMC. I've traded that multiple times, and actually was trading AMC 2-3 weeks ago. I made a couple $100 on that thing too. So like, I don't do the diamond hand bullshit anymore. This is the reason why I tell a lot of you, take profits, because of that reason, because I've gotten wrecked multiple freaking times. Also listening to a lot of these influencers that are shilling you fucking projects that are getting paid on the back end, and then telling you to diamond hand forever and not take profits. Like, no, you need to take profits. The goal is not to go ahead and become a millionaire overnight. The goal is to go ahead and do it gradually, multiple times. If you're able to go ahead and catch, one successful project, like let's say Pepe 2.0, and you're able to go ahead and make 20, 30, 50,000, 100,000, $200,000. Now you're able, your next goal should be, how can I go ahead and find the same project again with that kind of same momentum, same volatility, and the same opportunity? And the way you're going to be able to analyze that is by literally just looking at the market and seeing how a lot of these projects trade. You know, if you feel comfortable trading, like for example, I made a couple grand on Bonk already, and I'm going to enter Bonk again and buy at a higher price. But it's okay because I'm trading Bonk. I understand how Bonk moves. I understand the momentum. I understand the signs. So I'm better off trading Bonk, Pepe, if I just really want to, and then look for the next opportunity that I understand the way it moves. I only trade shit I understand. And that's what a lot of you should be doing. Don't FOMO into these projects because I'm talking about them or any of these influencers are talking about them. Like, jump in because you genuinely believe that the project is going to go up for whatever reason. Whether it's you have a feeling, you know, feelings are pretty big. I had a feeling that Pepe 2.0 was going to dump further, so I decided to take an $8,000 loss, and it actually did dump further. I would have freaking lost all my money if I never took my loss. And people are like, bro, John, just hold, bro. Like, why are you selling Pepe 2.0? It's going to recover. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't care what you say. I have a feeling I should sell because it's going to dump. And if I don't sell, I'm going to get wrecked and I'm going to lose all my freaking money. And I would rather lose $8,000 than lose all my freaking money, right? So I took the $8,000 loss, made my money back. I was right about that feeling that I had. The market's dumped even further. Now I could enter Pepe 2.0 again with a lower risk, higher reward, and I could actually make more money than I was able to do before when I took that $8,000 loss. And you just rotate onto these projects and just rinse and repeat until you finally couldn't no longer trade the token anymore. You don't understand the token. And that's all you really need to focus on. Just find 2 or 3 big projects, even one. It's all it takes. If I would have gotten into Grok early on when my buddy told me about it, in like the first 3 days it came out, I would have made a boatload of money. But I didn't, and I'm okay with it. Because I know there's going to be another Grok. I don't know when, maybe in the next couple weeks, couple months. Glenn says, always pay yourself, 100%. Vernon says, John, how excited are you to make those millions when the bull run really kicks off? I truly believe you can make those gains. It's only a matter of time now. 100%, man. I'm really excited. I think this is really going to be really cool for all of you to go ahead and watch like my journey live, like see what I've been able to do. You know, not just on the channel, like my growth, but also seeing my personal growth personally in my life. You're going to be seeing a lot of those changes, and you know. I'm definitely looking forward to, you know, talking a little bit more about other things, you know, as time goes on. But as I mentioned, I have some major goals I need to go ahead and hit first, and some really exciting things to go ahead and share all together once we hit those goals. And, you know, we could go ahead and talk about that. But, you know, the money is not really what excites me. I think what excites me the most is seeing the journey of myself evolve from where I'm at today and where I'm going to be in the next couple months. And I'm excited to go ahead and share that all with you. That's what really I enjoy more, you know, the channel growth, being more connected to a lot of you, and a lot of you being able to see that growth, not just in the channel, but seeing the growth that I'm having as a trader and as a person as well. I think that's going to be like really cool to go ahead and watch, you know, I think it's really cool to go ahead and see that, you know. So I'm definitely excited for that. I'm more excited for the growth and the kind of journey that we're in right now. And I know a lot of big changes are coming in the next couple months, so I can't wait for those changes. Vernon says, I only hodl, I don't trade since I don't have sufficient money and I'm not really gotten that far in my crypto journey knowledge-wise to begin trading. I mean, it's always good to go ahead and learn, man. Like, do the copy trading, as I told you, or not copy trading, the stimulating trading. You know, if you want to really like learn how to trade, I would always suggest using real money, like Glenn says. You know, put in $200 or $100 and just trade the market in and out. I mean, you know, Billy had kind of the same mindset of hodling a lot of these projects, and I'm like, bro, like, just take your freaking $100 or $50 win. You don't need to hit it big. You don't need to hit all these trades big. Like, if you're in a trade with, if you only have $100 and you doubled your money, you're not wealthy, you're not rich. But if you're using futures, you're $100 and now you have access to, you know, $2,000 because you now flipped your $100 account into, let's say, $200. You're using leverage. This is like $2,000. Now you're able to make more money. And if you find a project such as Bonk, Pepe, what else, Grok, $200 with leverage, with 10x leverage, with the volatility those projects bring, you could be making thousands of dollars. And as soon as you hit the $1,000 mark, it's so much easier for you to make money. As soon as you make $1,000 plus on futures with leverage trading, it's so much easier for you to make money after that. Promise you. Once you get through the $1,000, dude, you're gonna be making money left and right. But you first need to understand how it works, how you could duplicate your $100 into $2,000 or $200, and then grow your account. Because if you're not able to do that, then you could have freaking $10,000 right now in your account, and you could lose it all because you don't understand any of these patterns or any of these formats. So I would suggest all of you, I always say when people ask me how much should I usually start my account when it comes to trading or setting up my crypto account, I always say $1,000. I think $1,000 is like the most. Like, and if you don't have $1,000, I would say like focus on like getting a job if you can. Try to save up money. Sell things maybe in your house, sell some video games consoles that you probably don't play, shoes, collectibles. I don't know, but I always suggest everybody at least having $1,000 to start off with is usually the best thing. $500 to $1,000 I think is the best. Ideally $1,000 will put you in a perfect spot, and you would only be risking about like $300 per trade. And then the rest is just in case you find another entry point or you're adding more to your position. But I think $1,000 is more than enough. Anything less than that, you're putting yourself at a super high risk, high reward. Kind of like what I did. I turned $120 into $13,000, but I was using 20x leverage. You know what I mean? I was using 20x leverage. I got into a project before it was super volatile, and I was able to take advantage of the momentum. So that's why it was kind of easy for me to do that. And it was also easier for me to do that because I know how to do this. Like it's pretty easy for me to go ahead and look for these opportunities. But if you can't put yourself in a position where you could trade that kind of money, or like $100 up to the thousands, then you definitely need to go ahead and practice a little bit more on your trades. But I would say $500 to $1,000 will put you in a really good spot to make a lot of money. That's all you really need, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you what works. I would say usually $1,000 max puts you in a really good, juicy spot that you won't have to worry about it. You won't be risking your whole entire account. You could be risking at $500 at the max, half the other $500 for freaking margin, just in case you're going to get margin called. You can add more to your position if you see any dips, and then you're able to turn that $1,000 into, let's say, $2,000. And now you're only risking $1,500 with $2,000. Like right now per trade, I'm only risking, sometimes when I enter these trades, I'm only throwing in like $1,000 or $2,000. Like, yeah, I do have a $13,000 plus account, but I'm not fucking trading $13,000. Are you like why would I do that to myself, right? I have the money in the side just in case I want to add more to my position or I don't want to get margin. And this is the reason why like I'm able to kind of like save my positions and buy these dips, because I don't risk all my money. I try not to. When I'm entering these trades, I'm entering only $300. $300. Think about it. I'm only entering with $300. At the max, I'm entering $1,000 into a lot of these trades. And then the rest of the money is really used for margin, just in case it starts dumping a lot. Glenn says, just get those stop losses in next time. Stop loss saved me big on dump earlier today. Yeah, 100%, man. I'm gonna start using, like, as soon as I exit this trade on Wojak, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting stop losses, bro. Like, for sure, I'm gonna start putting stop losses. Vernon says, I really got majorly wrecked on this watch to earn Ponzi called Play Network. It's quite unfortunate. I can't be granted any mercy. I totally feel you, man. I mean, I've been wrecked a lot of freaking times too. Basilio, Diamond Hands, LOL. You're freaking hilarious, man. Tillery, how's it going? Yeah, you are good in TA. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Bonk is gonna 10x. 100%, bro. I agree with you. I do think Bonk will 10x. Vernon says, you getting the Lambo, John? I would get a freaking Ferrari, bro. I'm more a Ferrari kind of guy. Like, I told myself that once I make like crazy amounts of money, like the first car I'm gonna get would be like a Like obviously, like my dream car is a Maserati. I've always liked Maseratis, so I'd probably get me like a high like the $200,000 like Maserati, the freaking MC. Those are freaking sick. But if I had Ferrari money, I'd buy a Ferrari. You know what I mean? I'd buy a Ferrari. I'm more a Ferrari kind of guy. I wouldn't buy a Lambo. I mean, I would have a Lambo, but it wouldn't be like my first choice. Like I feel like Lambos are overrated, bro. To be honest, I think Ferraris are like more low key, and like only people that really know about cars know what you're driving. You know what I mean? Most people, I feel like most Ferraris are not too like eye catching. Like they're eye catching, but they're more discreet. They're not as loud, in my opinion. I feel like Ferraris are a little bit more elegant. I don't know, and I like that. You know what I mean? I like flashiness, but I would prefer a Ferrari. I think they look better, in my opinion. Lambos would definitely be like those like super flex, and I feel like everybody fucking has Lambos nowadays. But I would get a Ferrari if I had that kind of money, and then I would get a Rolls Royce because those are freaking sick cars. And then I would get a Bentley, but for sure it would be like a Ferrari, a Bentley, a G-Wagon. And I really do like the AMG models on the Benz, like I think it's the GT63. Am I saying that correctly? 63S, or is that a Porsche? Vernon says, "Quiet, not so easy. You said it yourself. You had to go through years of hard grind before you got to this point, and you lost a whole bunch of money. Kind of hard getting a job at this time of the year for me. There aren't a lot of opportunities, and I have a bunch of school stuff to attend. Hopefully, I get really lucky on some project." Yeah, dude, 100%. Glenn says, "Step 1, sell console. Step 2, sell TV, sell couch. Step 2, throw it all into 200x long on token. Step 3, cry alone in your empty room because you got liquidated." 100%, bro. 100%, man. Dude, look, this is what I would say, Vernon. Like, see, I can't really say I could relate too much on that end because, like, even since I was in high school, I was always freaking making money. Like, I've always been like the kind of person to like find ways to make money, whether it was like selling like things online or reselling clothes. Like, I've always been a person that I've always found ways to get whatever I wanted. Like if I wanted a new pair of like shoes or, clothes, like early on I started working, I started, multiple businesses early on at the age of like when I was young as fuck. Like literally when I was young, like probably like 3 years plus, I was like selling candy and I've always been a hustler. So I've always found ways to make money. So for me to make money, it's like not the hardest thing. Like I've always known how to make money. So I can't really tell you like what you could do, but like it's pretty much like what Glenn says, you know what I mean? I would freaking just sell anything you have in your house that you might not be using, like a freaking Xbox, bro. Like if you're like not trying to be a dick or anything, but if you're trying to make money and you're at this age right now in your life and you're studying for school, like I would just throw any freaking distraction away and like freaking sell it. Like if you have to sell your TV, sell your freaking TV, as Glenn says. Sell your couch, sell your consoles, sell like old collectibles if you have or any of that. Like just live very minimal. Don't waste too much time on like any video games or any of that shit. And then just focus on like hitting the books on trading, understand how the market moves, and then start looking for ways to like make money on the side. Or if you have a little bit of money, whatever way you get money, allowance, whatever the case is, if you get some of that money and double it, as soon as you start doubling it, it's gonna be so much easier trading it on futures after that. But even with $100, bro, like my account, I started my freaking MEXC account with $100 and it's at $13,000. So like it's possible. Is it a high risk? Yes. But like at that point I was like, dude, I have $100. Like what is there to lose? You know what I mean? I got wrecked on so many freaking projects. Like I lost a lot of money. Like what else could freaking happen? What is risking $100 more going to do to me? You know what I mean? So that's why I was willing to take the risk with a higher leverage. Obviously, it's not always the case, but trust me, there's a lot of money to be made in this space, and you could do it. You could definitely go ahead and do it. Vernon says it would be lit to see you showing off some dope cars in the future of your channel, John. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, man. Definitely excited for that kind of stuff. Glenn says Ferraris are beautiful, Lambos are middle school cool. Yeah, that's what I think too, bro. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't get a freaking Lambo. Trust me, I would, but it wouldn't be the first thing on my mind. It would be for sure Ferrari, and as I mentioned, I would like a Bentley GT. Those have always been my dream cars, and then I would have like for an SUV, I'd probably have like a freaking a G wagon, G63, I think it's called a G63 AMG. G-Wagon. Those are freaking fresh as fuck too. Vernon says, yes, Glenn, I shall do it. Excellent, Vernon. What about a truck lifted? If I was to do a truck, it'd probably be like a G-Wagon, bro. That'd be like the closest I'd get to probably a truck, to be honest. Glenn, hustle mindset. Yeah, dude, 100%, bro. Like, dude, I've literally gotten to the point where like I was like reselling stuff on eBay, like go to your local thrift store, bro. Like, go to your local thrift store, understand. But this is the thing, you have to understand trends. This is the reason why I'm really good at like understanding this, because I've been understanding trends for such a long time. Like I was able to look for, like, when I used to resell Supreme clothing, I knew like what was gonna sell out and what wasn't. Like I knew what people were gonna be hyped over for me to profit on. And I wasn't right all the time. It obviously it takes, you know, trial and error. But I even got to a point like when I was younger, when I was in high school, when I would go to thrift shopping, and I would go to the thrift store, like pick up video games, look at like clothes, look for vintage clothes, sell it on eBay. That's one of the best ways to make money. That's how I started, you know, that's how I first found out of internet money. Like I remember when I sold this one item, and I sold it for like $1,200. And I remember at the time when I was like, I think I was 18 at this point. I was still in high school, I think, or yeah, I was like early 18. And I literally just went into freaking McDonald's, bro. It was my second job. I worked into McDonald's because I really wanted a gym pass, a 24-hour gym pass for 2 years. And I think at the time it was like $600 or $800, which was freaking a lot of money for me in high school. Like $600 or $400, I think it was something like around that range, was like freaking, it almost seemed like $10,000 to me, right? And I remember working at freaking McDonald's, and I put in all this overtime when I was working part-time. And I remember like I was expecting my check to be like over $1,000, because like, dude, this is freaking exciting. And then I found out about taxes, and I was like, fuck, dude, this is such a scam. You're telling me that I have to work for my paycheck and then get freaking taxed like all my money. And that's when I was like, dude, I gotta look for other ways to make money. So during this time that I was still working at not Jack in the Box, I worked there too, but during that time that I was working at McDonald's, all that money I would make at McDonald's, I wouldn't spend that shit on like going out with friends. I wouldn't do any of that shit. I was working, bro. Like literally, like I've literally just recently, a couple last years, and probably now, I'm barely enjoying my life, dude. But I've been hustling since I was like freaking 13, 16. You know what I mean? Like I've always had that in my mind. Like I was like, dude, I don't have time to do any of this bullshit. It sucks, but you have to. It's either you enjoy life and you're freaking broke, or you freaking focus on making money, and then you later on in the future you enjoy, you know, your success. And that's literally what I would rather do. I would rather grind it out right now and have fun later on in the future. But what I was saying is that, like, I remember working at McDonald's, and a lot of my paychecks were all going to my business, bro. My freaking business that I had at the time, reselling clothing, was literally all reinvested into that. So I was working McDonald's, but like what was making me the most money was my resale business, bro. I was making like, you know, freaking $3,000 plus a month, which I wouldn't fucking do at McDonald's whatsoever at the time, because I was working part-time, bro. Like maybe at the most my paychecks would be probably like barely $1,000, because I was still in high school. And I remember my schedule was literally, I would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. I would go to the gym for like 3 hours. I would start school like around 7. I would go to school from 7 to like 12. And then from 12 after school, I would go straight to work. And then from work, I would work till like probably like 5 or 8. And then I would go to sleep. And that was like literally what I would do. And I did that shit for years. You know what I mean? And that's what I would just focus on, is making money. And then when I worked at Jack in the Box, I would just work, and literally all my paychecks would just go into trading. And I lost a lot of money, but I would definitely say that that's what also helped me understand how the markets move. So like for me personally, I've always been a person that I just can't like not make money. Like if you had the the opportunity to be given things in life, then if you're fortunate enough, then that's good. But like for me personally, I was never really given shit by like my mom or any of that, my parents. I wasn't given shit, so like I had to figure out a way to go ahead and get it. And for me, doing anything illegal was never in my head, because I was like, it's not worth the risk. You know what I mean? I always ask myself these kind of questions. Is the risk worth the reward? You know what I mean? And that's why like e-commerce is like the freaking best way to make money. There's a lot of ways to make money. You can freaking sell Pokemon cards and be a millionaire. You just got to find your little groove, Vernon says, damn, I wish I was you, John. It's clear to see you have a gift. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm very excited to see how your journey evolves. I appreciate you, man. You have it in you too, man. You just have to look for it, bro. Tillery says, hustle. Yeah, bro, that's all you have to do. Vernon says, it's hard, man. For at the moment, I would try, though. Glenn says, Vernon, you have strong conviction and believe in John. But you know what? I believe in you. You're so positive. You will attract what you deserve. I 100% agree with you too, Glenn. Like what Vernon says, bro. It's like, if you believe in me, bro, like believe in yourself. Trust me, bro. Like if you believe in yourself, people will believe in you. And I believe in myself. I believe in the success of this channel. I believe in the success that I'm going to do. And it's a lot more easier. I know it sounds easier said than done. Like, yeah, we all have, self-doubts, it's really normal, dude. I'm not telling you that I don't self-doubt myself sometimes or ask myself any of this shit. But realistically, believe in yourself, bro. Like, if you believe in me, believe in yourself. Promise you, once you start believing in yourself, you're going to go ahead and break through it. And I could guarantee you, bro, you're going to break through it, bro. Trust me, you're going to break through it. I've been there multiple times. Vernon says, don't got much to sell. I already got the bare minimum. I say I'm not spending my money on useless trinkets, but I'm getting wrecked. Vernon says, stream is bugging out of me. Internet caught up. Yeah. Probably going to ask for some trade opportunities, though, in the future. John, I trust you more than myself this early on. It's always nice to see you guys make money. I'm sure you are lovely people who deserve it. Bro, my internet is giving up. You just have to be patient, bro. Trust me, man. You're going to make money as long as you're watching. Like, as long as you're supportive of this channel and you're watching, you're going to have a lot of opportunities come your way, bro. Trust me. But this is the reason why what I'm saying, it's like, it's really difficult not to make money if you have no money. So like I would focus first on bringing in money to able to have money to invest or risk, you know what I mean? So whatever that is, I don't know. Do some side gigs if you can. Maybe if you're going to school, maybe become a tutor to some people and try to make some cash on the side. Do little things like that if you can. If you have the opportunity to find some sort of part-time, and if you could at least bring in some sort of money, you're going to be able to trade these markets with a lot less stress. Trust me, because when you're trading these markets with stress, you're just going to lose a lot of money because you're really trying to make money. And once you kind of like don't care about it, you're just kind of going with the flow of what you understand. It's going to be a lot easier for you to make money during these trades. But yeah, man, trust me, dude, your time's going to come. You just have to be prepared. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's the first solution I would say to focus on. I wouldn't even focus on trading right now. I would focus on how can I go ahead and make more money. That's what I would ask myself. Is there any way I can make more money to go ahead and sustain my trading ambitions that I have? That's what I would focus on first. I wouldn't even focus on trading, honestly. I would focus on how I could bring money. That would be my first main focus before anything. Now, if you really want to go ahead and do it through trading and you have a couple $100, well, then the goal would just be multiplying it and just finding the right opportunities and not getting wrecked and just taking profits. But honestly, it's a lot harder that way. I wouldn't suggest that there's some people that do it. You know what I mean? They do make their money, but I'd always tell people, like, you either come in with $1,000 first, or you have some sort of job to sustain it. Because if you're trading with money that you really are depending on and you're not bringing in any active income, you're going to lose your mind and you're actually going to do a lot worse on trading. So if you can, I would try to find a way to make money besides trading, and then put that money into trading. That's what I would do. Vernon says, trust me, I'm trying. I appreciate the advice, though. I'm kind of in a bad spot since the bull run will really kick off in a minute. Yeah, I think there's, dude, this is kind of the hard thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those situations where, like, I know you'll find plays, but like in reality, to have plays, you need to have money. Like you need to have some sort of money saved up, or have to have some sort of income coming in to be able to sustain trading and understand like the risk and stuff like that, because you're going to lose money to begin with. But you have to understand how to move and pivot out of the markets very quickly. But anyways, if all of you enjoyed this stream today, I'm going to go ahead and end it. But if all of you enjoyed this stream today, go ahead and make sure to smash that like button for me. I really do appreciate every one of you. Make sure to go ahead and support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC. It literally takes less than 3 seconds to go ahead and create an account. This is one of my preferred platforms. And I do, as I mentioned, I think there's a lot of opportunities coming into the market. Check out Bonk. Somo, I think it was called Somo Bonk, and then just keep your eyes out on the Pepes. I do think they will be having some sort of breakout to the upside very soon as well. I appreciate all of you tuning in today. Thank you, Vernon. Thank you, Glenn. Happy. Who else? Dwayne. Breath. Tillery. Haven't seen you in a while, bro. Really glad to have you here. Moon Joker, Billy, Saeed. All of you. I really do appreciate all of you. I will go ahead and be streaming probably tomorrow a little bit earlier. So I really do appreciate every one of you. Smash that like button. And till later, make sure to like,